The earthquakes. Heaven holds its breath. It was the 6th hour. The sky had turned black, not like a cloudy evening, not like a storm rolling in, but as if the sun itself had recoiled in horror. A darkness unnatural, thick and heavy, settled over Jerusalem. Children stopped playing. Merchants paused mid-haggle. Mothers held their babies tighter. Creation itself seemed to draw a long, silent breath. Atop a hill shaped like a skull, 3 crosses stood. On the center one, nailed through hands and feet, hung a man who had claimed to be the Son of God. Blood dripped steadily from his brow, mingling with sweat and dust. The weight of his body pulled downward as he struggled to breathe. He had been mocked, scourged, crowned with thorns. Now he bled quietly as the world watched. Jesus of Nazareth. To those onlookers, he was dying. To those beneath the earth, he was advancing. The depths of Sheol. Stir far beneath the surface, beyond mortal sight, lay Sheol, the land of the dead. Not a land of flame, not yet. This was a realm of silence. Cold, timeless. Souls wandered here like shadows, memories etched onto nothingness. Some sat, waiting. Others wept. Most simply existed. In one chamber, walled off and lit by the faintest ember of hope, sat the righteous dead. Abraham, his face calm but alert. David, fingers drumming on his knee in restless anticipation. Isaiah, eyes closed in quiet prayer. Beside them, Ruth, Esther, Moses. Countless others. They had waited. The promise had echoed through their generations. A Messiah would come. He would deliver. He would redeem. But for ages, the silence had reigned. In the deeper places, the tormented wailed. This was not hell in its final form, but a prison of justice, where the wicked faced the first fruits of separation. And deeper still, on a throne of twisted bone and ash, sat Death. He was not a skeleton. He was not cloaked in black. He was a presence, a void. Wherever he moved, light recoiled. Around him stood lesser rulers of the dark, Hades cold and brooding, the serpent ever watching, spirits of accusation and dread, and they smiled. On the surface, Jesus was dying. Below, they were preparing to receive him. The final breath. Back on the hill, Jesus gasped. His lungs burned. Every breath was a battle. The pain, deep, unrelenting, coursed through every nerve, but his eyes were set. He was not just enduring, he was descending. As the darkness lingered and the earth rumbled, Jesus cried out, not in despair, but with purpose. "It is finished!" And with those words, he released his spirit. The veil in the temple tore from top to bottom. But in the underworld, something far more terrifying happened. The breaking below. The words shook Sheol like a thunderclap. The ancient gates, forged in the early days of death, groaned. Cracks split the obsidian walls. Souls lifted their heads. The righteous stirred. Abraham stood. David's eyes widened. Isaiah whispered, "He comes." In the throne hall of death, silence fell. The Void King rose slowly. Hades stiffened. The serpent hissed. Then came the quake. From above, a roar like cascading stars and oceans colliding. Light burst through cracks in the roof of Sheol. Light not of fire, but of glory. A wind swept the place, howling through the corridors, toppling thrones, scattering the wailing spirits. And then he appeared. Not as the broken man on the cross, not as the bleeding lamb, but as the King. Robed in fire and authority, crowned with righteousness, eyes like twin storms, he descended into the very heart of the grave. The confrontation. Death rose. "You have no place here," he growled, though his voice faltered. Jesus stepped forward. Each footfall burned into the stone. "I have come to take back what is mine." Satan stepped from the shadows. you were defeated. I laid down my life, Jesus said, voice calm and unshaken. No one took it from me, and now I take it up again. The hall shook, chains snapped. The keys of death and Hades, once thought forged beyond reach, began to tremble on the belt of death. Jesus extended his hand. Give them to me. Death hesitated. Then, trembling, he obeyed. The keys glowed as they touched the Savior's hand. The liberation. Jesus turned to the chamber of the righteous. The gates fell with a crash. Light poured in, and the souls who had waited so long stepped forward. Abraham bowed. David fell to his knees. Rise, Jesus said, lifting them both. Come, all you who trusted. Today, you rise with me. And the long dead stood. A procession of faith and promise. Moses, Elijah, Deborah, Samuel, saints and prophets, children lost to cruelty, the crushed, the nameless faithful, chains fell like rain. Behind them, the tormented shrieked. Not all could follow, not all had hoped, but those who had waited in faith followed the King of Glory as he led them out of silence, out of captivity, toward resurrection, the return, forever changed. Now, the gates of death no longer hold their power. The veil remains torn. The keys hang on the side of the risen King, and every time one soul calls upon his name, Sheol remembers the day the light came down and tore the kingdom of darkness apart. The earth had quaked. Heaven had held its breath, and the Son had stormed hell to bring his children home.